exhaust manifolds or header for your B series Hondas. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about the cheap of the cheap on eBay to something super bespoke like this Myers competition one I have for my B18C Type R. Now, I already have Myers competition header on my car. It's this guy right here. It's just brushed stainless steel. But a month ago, Jack Myers hit me up and he was like, hey, you want to do something crazy? This dude, Jack Myers, all right? And I was like, what's crazy? He was like, well, I've been wanting to do this tumble polish and I want to try it out on your setup. And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I got some polished goods. I mean, my spark plug cover, my oil cap is polished, and I got like other polished things in the engine bay. So I was like, yeah, let's give it a try. So what they do is they take the freaking manifold, right, and they stuff it in this like tub. Kind of looks like, imagine if this is this tub. They fill it up with abrasives, kind of like sand or rocks or stone, and then it vibrates for hours and hours and hours, and it cuts away on the stainless steel, and it comes out like this. Now, it's not supposed to be mirrored polish, but you could get it to that level. I wanted it somewhat like this, which is like kind of like a mercury look, and it just looks nice. All right, now this is the first Myers competition header that has been polished like that. This is an option going forward, so if you guys are looking for something fancy and showy, this is probably a good choice for you. Now, Myers competition, they don't make show headers or header. All right, they make performing headers or header because that's what they do. They race. They literally make parts for race cars. So this one right here, it's just a little fancy because he knows that, oh, I like fancy things, and why not make it look kind of cool, right? So I told him what specs I'm running on the engine that I have. So it's essentially, it's stock. I want bolt-ons. Here's the ECU that I'm using and the power band that I want to be playing around with. So he optimized all the the piping right here, the collector and all that, to maximize my performance potential for the B18C Type R. Now, the LS one right here, totally different. Now, they do look similar, but the tubing and the way it's made, totally different from the Type R one that's right here. And also, when you do like an eBay setup, you are just buying a regular header that is kind of like an OE plus look, and they just copy the collector and the style and the 421 or 41, and that's it. They don't do any R&D on it. They just literally copy something like this from high-end companies, and they replicate it. With Myers competition, he actually makes a bespoke header for your setup and your power needs, and that's the big difference between a super expensive header that performs like crazy and a typical eBay one that you can buy for a couple $100s. Now, if you guys are strapped on cash, then obviously the eBay way is probably your bet, but see this right here, it's like V-band and it's polished all the way, nice collectors. He even gives you Yoshimura friggin' springs right here, and that's how the whole assembly is held together. This is just, it doesn't leak, because I know some of you guys are like, oh, it's done leak that way. The motorcycles exhausts have been like this for decades. It doesn't leak because the air goes this way, all right? But yeah, the biggest difference between eBay and something like this is the R&D and actual science that went behind the production of these things, and not just, copy and paste.